GF means Exempli Gratia Foundation. So initially, you'd probably think this is like a foreign organization, but it simply means literally for the sake of example. So we named it Exempli Gratia, or for the sake of example, because we want to create little ripples of good deeds which may be replicated by other people. Our primary purpose is to come up with an example that should or may inspire more and more Filipinos. Started in 2010 with the efforts of then Mayor Jesse Robredo of Naga City. He called us up, so about 7 of us. We were thinking, after the elections, paano kung nanalo yung candidate natin? The people we approach would expect us to be able to help them, or at least bridge them to these higher authorities. We said we should do our own efforts to at least go back to these communities, talk to the people again, and help them help themselves. Sometime in early 2010, we came up with the idea of transforming the network that we built into a non-stock nonprofit organization. So from the Bayanihan Ninoy movement and the Bicolano Ninoy movement, we transitioned it to Exempli Gratia. And then after a period of time, we decided we should make it into a foundation. The goal then was to actually go back to the communities and try to do something that would, sort of inspire people to start something better, something good in their own community. It was funny because we would go to communities, come up with a one-off medical mission, feeding activity, and we said, these things that we do, although they're good, they're not enough to create a dent in the communities that we're trying to serve. That's why we put some time in brainstorming and trying to understand how we could help these communities better. And I mentioned the word help. Eventually, we came up with an acronym, HELP program, which stands for Health, Education, Livelihood, and Preparedness. The way it works is that we have volunteers. By the way, all our members, all our people within the Exempli Gratia Foundation are volunteers. Nobody's actually paid at this point. We have volunteers taking care of the health program. The health component of the health program essentially aspires to make sure that when they enter into the community, the recipients of those communities would graduate from malnutrition. And those who are taking care of the education component of the health program would ensure that the recipients of the same program would graduate from illiteracy. Livelihood, for the mothers at least of these same children, by the time we go out of the community, they should have their own livelihood. And lastly, preparedness, which is divided into 2 components. One is to make sure that they're financially prepared. They know how to handle their finances the moment they start earning income. And of course, as far as the community is concerned, we help them to understand how is it becoming more prepared in terms of disasters. The concept called SMILE, which stands for Socially Motivated Individuals Leading by Example. And this is why we have the slogan, helping communities one smile at a time. We tap the energy, the resources, and the willingness of these young professionals to actually help communities in different parts of the country. Initially, we focused on communities in Parañaque, but the goal is eventually expanded to as many communities within the country as possible. Is there a better way? By asking this question, our members actually become more innovative in their mindset, in their thinking. Because if you see something and take it as it is, then there's no room for innovation or growth. But when you challenge these people to actually think of better ways, by simply asking the right question, they would become innovative. So we came up with the idea of library in a box, which is transforming transforming container vans into useful, highly innovative libraries. So far, we've delivered one in Cabaclan Elementary School in Albay and another one in Naga City, Naga Central Pilot School. The idea is that no matter how strong the typhoon is, na hindi masisira yung library na yun. The other one is solar-powered disaster preparedness bags, which are now being used by some volunteers in Red Cross. The idea of this project is that you can actually recharge your cell phone, your radio, your computer, your laptop, your mobile phones within 48 hours after a disaster strikes, and no, you don't have any source of energy. You can recharge it in your car or simply expose it under the heat of the sun, and it's recharged. We encountered major difficulty right after the Yolanda typhoon hit several areas in Leyte and also in Samar, during which time, through our own little initiative or efforts, we managed to produce a truckload of relief for the people who were suffering in those areas. But one of the biggest challenges then was bringing bottles of water into the area. The first challenge was because it's very expensive to transport heavy loaded trucks because of these bottled water. The other consideration, of course, is that bringing those bottled water is very difficult in terms of making sure that they don't burst, because of the pressure and all that. So we said there must be a better way na makakapagdala tayo ng source of drinking water, potable water in the area without having to suffer what we've suffered during that time. And then we came up with Project Aquarius na pwede nating dalhin sa evacuation centers or sa disaster-stricken area. These Project Aquarius can actually produce 600 liters of water per hour. And you can convert any water except the water coming from the sea. Pwede mo silang inumin. May it be from the canal, from the rain, or kahit saan, except yung tubig dagat. So, we started producing those. So, nagawa namin yun sa Bohol, nagawa namin yun sa Eastern Samar and Tacloban. Been lucky to be continuously getting the support of organizations like IBM, Oracle, HP. Recently, we also had received help from US Peace Corps and the USAID, especially for the library in Tabacna Elementary School. And the Rotary Club of Parañaque Metro South, which is now a strategic partner of EGF as an organization. I always say that EGF is my baby. Some call it legacy. My baby because gusto ko sana yung EGF would last not just decades, but ages until ma-realize na yung kanyang full potential. By realizing its full potential, I mean, it's not about making sure that I leave a name for myself, but I'd like to inspire more and more individuals. I think my dream is that whether it is done through EGF or another organization, I'd like to leave that inspiration to many na kahit you're an ordinary person, you're actually capable of accomplishing something extraordinary. Every now and then, I'd say na ang vitamins ko talaga is being with the communities. In other areas, you'd probably learn a lot about being a better executive, being a better manager, but nowhere can you actually learn being a better person than serving in these communities with EGF. So that has transformed me and it continues to transform me. I'll continue to inspire, to motivate our team to do more and to do better. And as we do more and we do better, I hope more and more people will see the value of what we're trying to do. So more than just asking for money, asking for material donations, I would like to ask everybody to actually replicate what we're trying to do. You can do it through us, or you can do it through your own organization, whichever way, because that's the essence of Exempli Gratia. For the sake of example, through our little example, I hope you will help more, you will serve more, and you will do more.